Support for this podcast comes from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative, connecting communities with the resources, infrastructure, and networks to ensure a vibrant local free press. And Judging by the Cover Bookstore in Fresno, celebrating Independent Bookstore Day Saturday, April 25th, with 9 Fresno authors and artists gathering to share their works from the newest edition of the literary zine, Wild Blue. This event is open to the public, and festivities begin at 2 p.m. More info at judgingbythecoverbookstore.com.
From KVPR in Fresno, this is Central Valley Daily. It's Monday, April 20th. I'm Soreath. A new PBS Kids show takes kids to a national park right in our backyard.
I think the awe that you see in Sequoia National Forest, we hope will motivate parents and kids to also go visit them.
Today, we speak with the creators of the brand new show, Wowsabout. The show has a kickoff event happening soon in Visalia. That conversation in just a moment.
Central Valley Daily listeners care about what's going on in their community. On Sunday, May 3rd, KVPR is hosting Corks and Brews, our annual spring fundraiser. We're looking for a few more volunteers to help make our event better than ever. Apply to volunteer yourself or bring your team to help out with our biggest fundraising event of the year. Volunteer slots are available before, during, and after the event. It's a great way to give back to your community and support your favorite daily podcast. Request to become a volunteer by emailing events with an S at kvpr.org.
And now to our feature story.
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here, and this is a mystery box. You see, if anybody can guess from the clues I give what is in this box, then they can keep what is in the box.
Is it cookie?
From Kermit to Cookie Monster, Fraggle Rock to Sesame Street, Jim Henson's puppet creations have taken on a life of their own, and they've become a part of childhood memories for generations. Today, the Jim Henson Company continues to keep the playful spirit of the puppeteer alive, this time with a new show premiering on PBS Kids next month. It's set entirely in our own backyard, Sequoia National Park, bringing the beauty of the Sierra Nevada mountains to a national audience.
I'm an itty-bitty piggy from the hustle-bustle city. It's my first nature adventure. Oh, the air, the trees, the rock.
I talked to Halle, Stanford, and Dorien Davies, creators behind the new special, Wowsabout. The two spent the past 3 years working on the project. Halle starts by telling me about the inspiration behind the show, to go out and have wowsabouts. That is, to experience the wows of the world.
It's a story that begins with awe and ends with awe. Having worked at the Jim Henson Company and run their television division for so long, and now I have my own company, Seven Crow Stories, always thinking about like the modern child, always thinking about what they need and what parents are hoping for from them. And I was really thinking in early 2023, like, what is a show that we could give preschoolers hope and connection and joy with the planet and also with each other? And I was actually driving through Topanga Canyon, and suddenly a little hedgehog appeared in my mind's eye with a guitar on her back and pink boots on her feet, out to see the wows of the world. And I just thought, yes, I love this little character. Let me think about where she could go and get kids out caring about the world. And that same day, I read a New York Times piece about how awe could improve your health and way of living. And it was all about Dr. Keltner's new book on his scientific research and how it could make you happier and feel more connected to the planet and to each other as human beings. And I just thought it was magical. I'm like, this is it. This is the way we do it. It's through awe. It's through this little hedgehog. It's going out and seeing the wows of the world. And I'd also been producing the show Fraggle Rock and Back to the Rock. And we were doing a lot of filming of the puppets out in the real world. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be a wonderful challenge to have us go out into the real world and film the beauty and the awe of this planet, but also do it with these like wonderfully hilarious and energetic puppets, kind of combine that puppet magic, heart and funny, that kind of awe that I grew up with, that Kermit the Frog on the lily pad energy.
Yes.
But then give it a Ken Burns makeover. But as I love to say, it all began with, I needed a hedgehog.
Yeah, there is something about having that sense of wonder and awe that is very childlike, that can also be retained when we're adults. And it's amazing to kind of hear how that process happened. So, Dorien, I just wanted to ask you, why set this show in Sequoia National Park? Was there something in particular about this park that drew you all to want to film there?
Yeah, Sequoia is a really, really special place. And I have an affinity for large trees. And we basically just wanted to write an episode. We wrote a little trailer and teased it out and made it with the Jim Henson Company, and we shot it up in the redwoods, and that was definitely an option, shooting it up in the redwoods. One of the cool things about Sequoia is it's really close to Los Angeles. It's really accessible for a lot of people in the entertainment industry. People can get there a lot more easily than, say, going a little bit further up to the redwoods from Los Angeles. And we developed this really special partnership with the National Parks Foundation. And the National Parks Foundation put us in touch with the amazing people at Sequoia National Park and Kings Canyon National Park. And I have to be honest with you, we are broken for all other relationships because they were so collaborative and so special. And
Oh, yeah, for sure.
it was unbelievably ideal. And it made me feel so proud to have this incredible park system as part of something that we can access on a regular basis. And sometimes you just need a little reminder that this kind of grand, inspiring, vast awe and wonder is so readily available just a few hours drive from, where Halle and I live. So Sequoia just kind of, it kind of wrote itself. It's so awesome. Those trees are awesome.
And you are so right. We are very lucky to be here in the central San Joaquin Valley, really surrounded by national parks. And it sounds like you guys spent so much time in Sequoia National Park. I'm just curious, Dorien, what logistics look like when you're trying to film a show like this, a puppet show? Outdoors.
Yeah, it's really unique. I could speak to it from the production side, but I can talk to you about it from a puppeteer side, because I always joke that puppeteers are floor people. When we're working on a Jim Henson Company production, for the most part, they do a lot to make sure that the puppeteers are standing, that we're in an ergonomic position, that we can do this for the rest of our lives, that we're not hurting ourselves. But out in nature, a lot of times we'll be on the floor, we'll be rolling around, we'll be hiding behind things. We had the advantage of having John Tartaglia as our amazing puppet captain. So he set us up for comfort. But there were points where I was like, are we gonna be in this like dark cave? Are we gonna be underneath logs and hiding, covered in black widow spiders? Like, how is this gonna look? And of course, our production was really safe and really wonderful. But we are tethered to the sun rising and setting. So we wake up very early so we can catch the first glimpse of sun, and we work until the sun sets. And if it's, fall, or if it's spring, or if it's winter, like sometimes you get a little less sun, and that you really have to work with the elements. It's very much like hiking or being a good camper.
And right now, we're in a time where there's a lot of AI-generated content, a lot of digital content. So to hear that this is an actual physical production that's happening, to me, it makes it really special.
I love that.
Halle,
Wait, I have to do a shout out to one other character that you'll see, which is the solar hedgehog camper van. Speaking of practical, you just made me think of that. Like, yes, that's what's so unique about this show. Ian Nothnagel, who's our production designer, they built a little teeny camper van that Roxy actually can drive. It actually drives, folks.
Wow.
I think that practical nature is going to be really appealing to parents and kids, to really want them to like, oh, I want to get outside. I want to touch these things. I want to go meet Roxy and Ronald.
Yeah.
And there's something magnificent, I think, about practical puppetry right now. There's like a hunger for low tech. It was so interesting because a lot of our amazing crew were in their 20s. And because there was no reception up there, and because they are all working in film and television, they pulled out film cameras. And there were probably like 5 or 6 film cameras on set of people just shooting nature while we were having downtime or during lunch. And I realized that there is a hunger right now for a low-tech, practical puppetry. Like there's a reason Grogu was so successful. It's a harder choice. It's an interesting choice. It's usurping, I think, in 2026.
And I just wanted to touch on, Halle, you mentioned wanting to inspire kids to get out into the nature because of this show. Can you talk a little bit more about what the message is on this program? What are you trying to convey to not just kids, but parents?
Well, back to this idea of awe. That awe is a feeling, and you'll see in the show, Roxy and Ronald are going to learn about awe. They're going to learn how it feels in their bodies. They're going to learn how it inspires them. Awe is everywhere. Obviously, awe is in Sequoia National Park, but it's also in the clouds in the sky, a tree in your backyard. And that awe motivates us to become better human beings, better friends, better listeners, more empathetic. And I think the awe that you see in Sequoia National Forest, we hope will motivate parents and kids to also go visit them and love them and support them. But really, it's the wows are what it's all about. And if we can get kids to want to experience them, put their screens down. And by the way, lots of good stuff in screens, but let's get them put down for a second and go out and experience the wows of the world and have their own wowsabouts like Roxy and Ronald. That's the goal of the show. We end the show with them singing, "Let's all go on a wowsabout." And they talk about all the possible things that they could do in the world, from going to an art museum, to going to a concert, to looking at Jupiter and outer space, the pictures, and experiencing awe. This is something that we're hoping to create a movement from with this show, and to get parents and kids to go out and have wowsabouts and tell us about them every day.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to play a clip from the show. In this scene, Roxy and the character Ronald are sitting in their tent and looking up at the night sky.
Whoa, I've never seen stars twinkle so bright.
Yeah, city lights hide them. The stars are nature's night lights.
Oh, there's so many. So far. I feel so small.
Yeah, but in a good way.
So cute. I'm really looking forward to this. And final question, Halle, the Jim Henson Company has been a part of so many childhood memories, including for me. I loved watching The Muppet Show and Fraggle Rock as a kid. How does a show like this, Wowsabout, build on the tradition of the Jim Henson Company for the modern era?
Well, I'm so lucky that I've had the privilege of helping to build up Jim Henson Company's legacy for the last 30 years. And I've really been raised in the DNA of Jim's creative thinking. And, I think that Jim always wanted to innovate. He always wanted to make sure that whatever you put a child in front of a television, it had something really to say in the world. And I think it's that. So let me just say, regarding the innovation here with Wowsabout is we went and shot a Ken Burns makeover on a puppet production. And really, I feel delivered on something that's never been done before in puppetry. And I think Jim would be really proud of us. But we also kind of wanted to go old school. So even though, we're talking about the modern age, like that Rainbow Connection feeling of Jim's, that making corny cool, that, we all remember from the Muppet movie, we really wanted to bring that back. We really wanted to bring back Jim Henson comedy, silly puppets. Let's do it again, and let's get it out there. And so that was something else that was so important to us. And then finally, heart. Jim Henson was all about heart. And like I said, and cared deeply about what a child watches. So of course, these characters are filled with love. But also, this show wants to, be a transformative experience for families. Like we mentioned, we want them to go away and just say, I want to go have a wowsabout. I want to go experience the wows of the world and the awe of the world and see how it feels. And that was definitely something that Jim Henson cared about in the world. Fun fact, Jim Henson loved the national parks. And back in the mid-1960s, was playing around with the idea with the National Park Service of doing PSAs for them. It never actually happened, but there are so many wonderful pictures of him at the national parks. And it really inspired Dorien and I. We felt, wow, we feel like he's blessing us from beyond, saying, go for it, make this Wowsabout for the company. So I feel like it has a little bit of his spirit in it as well.
Halle, Stanford, and Dorien Davies, creators of the new PBS Kids show Wowsabout. It's great chatting with you.
Thank you for having us.
And a special premiere of Wowsabout will be this weekend, Sunday, April 26th at the Visalia Fox Theater from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can register for free tickets at valleypbs.org. The special airs May 1st on PBS Kids. And that's today's show. Today's episode was produced by Jonathan Linden and KVPR with support from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative. I'm Soreath Hawk. Find the latest local news anytime at kvpr.org.
You know, every day on Up First, NPR's Golden Globe-nominated morning news podcast, we bring you 3 essential stories. At the heart of each story are questions. What really happened? What really mattered? What happens next? At NPR, we stand for your right to be curious and to follow the facts. Follow Up First wherever you get your podcasts and start your day knowing what matters and why.